Have you ever wondered what it would be like if we relied more on our strengths than on our need to do everything perfectly and be ultra competent? So that's the question I'm going to explore, actually, not just today, but in this series. You see, a friend of mine who uses StrengthsFinder in her coaching issued me a challenge to think about using my own strengths with my big mission in the world. I dream of a world where we can work and accomplish things without burnout. Having been through burnout way too many times, I think that it's too high of a price to pay to what we do in the world. And so I've been paying attention to what my strengths are and have been using a book. Okay, now you're going to see how many strengths I don't have, namely not in doing videos. This is the book I'm talking about, StrengthsFinder, but there's lots of different tools you can use to figure out what your strengths are. So when she asked me what would happen if I brought my strengths and married it up with my big goal, and my strengths are namely in influencing and relationships, I was immediately curious about this 30-day challenge I think I'm in. And she said to do something really small. But I just got myself hooked on this idea of doing a video every day because I am on YouTube because it actually really lends to my strengths. So it didn't feel too hard to do that. Here's the big thing as we think about this question of what would happen if we relied more on our strengths. I'll tell you how it feels first to reuse my strengths, and then I'm going to tell you what it feels when I'm not using them. So part of what felt really juicy about doing this is that I've discovered that when I'm using my strengths as a way to do the things in the world that I feel like I'm meant to be up to, it feels like juicier. It feels way more fun. It's always easy. It feels natural. It almost feels like this thing that I can do is something that I think that just everybody should be able to do it. It feels so natural. I don't even hardly realize that I'm doing it. And so for a good long while, I didn't even really notice my strengths because they were just so normal, just me, just how I am. But then the more I started to pay attention to them, the more I realized how much more I enjoy my work. Everything's easier. It's faster. I don't overthink. I just have more fun. It is all around way better. So here's the clincher. I have also, when it comes to this whole idea of being successful, been very much steeped in this idea that success means to be ultra competent, and that's my brand of perfectionism. I don't know what your brand of perfectionism, but I need to be ultra competent and excellent at all the things, which even as I say it out loud feels a little bit ridiculous, but it's been like my way of operating in the world. So knowing that it's just not possible for me to be good at everything for as much as I often try, part of setting down and letting go of that way of being successful means to acknowledge the fact that there's a whole bunch of things that I don't do well. And as a part of this challenge, you're going to see them. I am not skilled at making videos or editing them, and I'm probably going to shake this video until I figure out how to not shake it. But when I'm not using my strengths, it is painful. Not to mention, it takes way longer. It's not fun. It's uncomfortable. I'm spending way more time doing the things, learning the things. And because I pride myself so much on being competent, I want to be the one that does it. And I want to do it really, really, really well and master it. So it's not easier. It's, from a business perspective, it's not cheaper. It's certainly not more fun. It takes way longer. So as I talk about this, it feels like it just makes sense to rely on our strengths. Do you know what your strengths are? Like whether it's through StrengthsFinder, and I'll put a link down below. I'm curious to know in the comments. Okay, I should probably only ask one question, but I know that part of this journey is going to mean me being really uncomfortable with the fact that there's so many things I don't do well. It's a bit awkward. And I'm a bit probably more stressed about that right now. If you have any ideas for how to just do things without the angst of not doing them well, I'd really be curious to know what your recommendations are. I hope you'll join me on this journey where I'm going to talk about success and how to evolve it, all the while me practicing bringing my strengths to it and letting go of this way of being successful that has us burning out and being overwhelmed all the time. So that's the journey overall. And tomorrow I'm going to dig into the question of, what's my question? I did write that down. How has your of success evolved since like 10 years ago? Has it changed over the years? I'm curious about that because I'd like to invite us all to evolve our success so that we are not burnt out. So I'll see you around tomorrow. Let's go on this journey. Subscribe to the channel, hit the video if you like, and will I meet you in the comments? I sure hope so, to know what your strengths are or to hear any tips and tricks you have about how to be successful using your strengths and concurrently awkward by not doing everything perfectly and well. So thanks for joining me for this video, and we'll see you tomorrow.